Good morning, good evening, and welcome back to warthunder. In this video, we're going to be driving the rank 4 battle rating 6.7 Japanese medium tank, the STA-3. With the intro out of the way, let's take the STA-3 into battle. So here we are on our first game. We are on the Tunisia map, but it's now a one-cap version of the map. I'm going to take the STA-3 to the left side of capture point Alpha into the river to try to contest capture point Alpha. So the STA-3, is this tank any good? What even is this tank? So this tank is a post-World War II Japanese prototype that created the Type 61. In War Thunder, it sits at a battle rating of 6.7 in the Japanese tech tree. Its 6.7 lineup is actually pretty strong with the Type 61 and some other vehicles. Now, the Type 61 is armed with a 90mm cannon that fires both APHE and Heat FS. I bring a few Heat FS rounds since you can struggle at penetrating some heavy tanks such as the Tiger 2H and the T95 and similar heavy tanks. But it is very mobile, but the one downside I would say is the armor. But that is something you're gonna be used to if playing in Japanese tanks, as basically none of them have any armor to speak of whatsoever. Now we did die, we kind of overextended and our team didn't quite help us in the position we were in. But nonetheless we're going to set up in a position where we can eliminate most of the enemies reinforcing Alpha. And we also have a good look on the left side where we drove down before, since if the enemies come up there it's gonna be quite troublesome for us on the hill. Now we start by engaging a Panther and we load high explosive anti-tank, and then we find a Tiger 2H, and this is a position where we are quite advantageous. We have some good gun repression, so we can use the reach light pretty well. And I decided to keep the heat loaded since I know there are gonna be more heavy tanks coming and I do want to penetrate them at the first possible chance. Now here we see why we want to go left. A Panther and a T-34-100 have come up. We shoot the upper front plate of the Panther and we disable him. The T-34-100 just whiffs on us. Not really sure how he did that, but we just take care of him after the first shot. So we eliminated both tanks that were attempting a flank, and we're gonna drive up once again to try to finish off this Panther. Unfortunately the angle is a bit too big for us, but we're gonna try to aim for the turret. Now pulling up to the side we find a Tiger 1 that is kind of distracted, so we take an easy shot into the side of his turret. Now you can use multiple channels on the STA-3, and you can also, and this goes for the Type 61 as well. You have access to the M82, which is a APHE shot, which has around 180mm of penetration. But that's not what makes this round so goddamn efficient. It's the HE filler. You're gonna one-shot most tanks you are able to penetrate with this round. And that is why I suggest using the APHE round. You're also gonna have access to a Heat FS, which has around 320mm of penetration. It also has a much higher velocity. But this thing with the heat and... well, this goes for basically every heat in the game. You have a very bad post-penetration damage, so you need to know where to aim to get the kills quite quickly. So this is an example where you need heat. We track the Tiger 2 and leave him in place, and with the heat we go straight through his turret cheek and detonate the ammunition behind. Also with the Panther G we killed earlier, that is also a time where we aim for the ammunition in the lower part of the hull. But here we load the high explosive APHE and we get a Tiger 2 in the side. You are still able to penetrate most tanks with the APHE if you know where to aim and aim a bit careful. And that is an example of why we are able to kill him. We knew that the Tiger 2H has pretty poor side armor, so we are able to go through him. With me and the team having taken control of Alpha Point, we're gonna go up and take as much space as possible, starting off with this M109. With the M109 destroyed, we're clear to move up more and more with our team. Also, one thing you should know is that this tank is not very stable. You are gonna wiggle and bounce quite a lot when you stop at a dime, so that is something you're gonna have to take into account as well. The traverse and the gun handling though is quite good. We take out a Tiger 2 Porsche which was looking at, I don't know really what he was looking at, and we use our 3D camera to look around the rock, and we see a STA and we also see a Panzer 4, so we're gonna eliminate them next. With us disabling this tank's mobility, we're gonna load a chemical round. This time we're gonna load heat to overpressure this SPAA. This is also why you should always bring some kind of heat or high explosive round, so you can overpressure open top tanks. You can actually overpressure them by just shooting their track. If they're hiding behind a building, you see just a small part of the track, and that is gonna be enough to get the overpressure kill and kill them. So you should always try to bring some heat or high explosive. But that is enough to spawn in the nuke. With a total of 12 kills, we managed to earn enough spawn points to drop a nuke, taking first place in our team with 8,520 research points and 93,843 silver lions. Okay, next game we are on the map. Yeah, I don't even know what this is called. But anyways, if you spawn on this map, you wanna get a free kill. Spawn to the right side and go over to this place right here. And if you need to do this in a quick tank, you can't do this in a slow tank, but drive up to this rock right here and aim right here and just wait. Not having waited even 10 seconds, we find our first prey, a Tiger 2 Porsche. As you can see, there is one more coming. And the next tank just comes out again. Now I had accidentally fat fingered and loaded high explosive anti-tank. If you have APHE there, he would have been dead as well. Now the next tank is a Jagdpanther. I keep the heat loaded since I know I won't be able to do much with APHE. So first shot kills almost his entire crew and the second shot finish him off, and we drop some RD as well. After that we move over to the Bravo point and capture that for our team. And after just capturing, we find a charioteer, and here you can see a PhD doing its work. We catch a sliver of this guy's tank and we absolutely murder him. Now from this position we have right here, we can shoot down all the enemies down at the bottom of the hill. We kind of kill a jagged tiger, and that does result in a kill assist. And the follow-up shot on this tiger too knocks him out as well. We just scan around some more and we find a panther. It was quite a lucky shot that we actually got. Now this T-34 just comes to ruin us it all, but we do manage to pick up a Ostwind 2 as well. Now after that we decide to move down the hill since I wasn't getting any use of that position anymore. We see a Ostwind and the APHE just doesn't fuse and he managed to get into cover. So we try to catch him, but unfortunately we don't, and just shortly after that we do get absolutely railed by a Canadian Jagdpanzer. Spawning in a backup, we immediately get trapped in our spawn by a elephant. Or a Ferdinand, excuse me. He peeks up and we shoot his barrel, load heat, and we start absolutely torturing this man with heat. And just as we get the kill, we get absolutely bombed. Fantastic, who doesn't love chaos? And after that we toy around with a SPA for a while. Doesn't do anything. We get a few kill assists, but that's it. So we're gonna spawn in the Type 61. Now the Type 61 is the thing the STA-3 resulted in. It was actually a prototype for just this tank. The big difference is that this does have access to a rangefinder and some smoke grenades. That is the big difference in warthunder at least. So we're gonna go over and quickly recap Charlie Point. After having captured Charlie, we move up the hill and we find one last target for this game. With 9 kills, we managed to take first place in this game as well, with 10,182 research points and 83,394 silver lions. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe, and stay tuned as there will be more content to come about War Thunder in the near future. Until next time, take care.